Hey, greetings, Performance Reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today I have a very requested vacuum, which is a Rainbow E2 Black as it's known. But there are several different E and E2 models. This is a brushless motor, which comes with the PN12 power nozzle and the two-piece wands. I guess that's kind of what separates it in my head, at least. So this has their newest power head, which has these side brushes on it. And the two-piece wand instead of telescoping wands, but this is a big improvement from when they used to have a pigtail just a few years ago. This also has a improved handle on it. This handle, Rainbows are famous for having this dead man switch, and you can lock that dead man switch, which is a big quality of life improvement. There's also a suction relief valve right here. Well, there should be, yeah, right there. It's just hard to actuate at that angle. So all that is there. I guess I should also note this is a model that does not have a quick release cord on it. And of course it does have a HEPA filter, which should be changed probably once a year if you're using this. And if you're new to the channel, well, go ahead and check out our other content as well. We would appreciate that. We do vacuum related content. Rainbows are one of those things that people either love or hate, and I'm kind of in the middle. I really appreciate the quality of this machine, and a lot of this machine is made in the US, which I really like. What I don't like about this machine is that it uses water, and there's not a valid reason for that anymore. And for those who don't understand why Rainbow uses water, it's not some sort of miracle. It is an accident. So the story goes that during the time when the vacuum bag had a patent on it, they were just using mechanical separation in the original Rexair. Well, in the World's Fair, they weren't selling. Again, this is the urban legend, and it's a good urban legend, is that the gentlemen at Rexair were less than gentlemanly and decided to piss in it. And lo and behold, it filtered a little bit better, and that's, again, when they started adding water to it. So that's the urban legend behind that, and I've heard that from several different sources. It is 2025, and the vacuum bag patent expired probably, gosh, it would have been in the late 50s, so a long time ago. And this has some like leftovers. One thing about this is it has a wire reinforced hose, which means this can get kinked, and of course this isn't taking advantage of a wider hose, which it most certainly could with this opening. You can see where it's reduced down. Now, I am missing from this picture right now the accessories, but they are like the standard 3 accessories. They might even be vessel work accessories. It's a dusting brush, upholstery, crevice tool with a slide-on wide brush. And it goes on like a little unicorn-shaped thing that rests right here. That is less important for this review. I have spent plenty of time using that. So let's go over the basis of the machine. Again, if you're new here, we're going to do a pickup test, a suction test. We're going to go in the shop and actually take this thing apart and show you what it looks like in the inside and how it is to repair. And then we're going to go around my house and clean with it a little bit, and then I'm going to give you my final thought. Now, if you have a Rainbow salesman in your house and you are trying to figure out whether you should buy this, first thing you should do is give them the boot. Tell them to GTFO out of your house immediately. Hell no. If you decide that for some reason you have your heart set on this, after I give you all the information that's going to be in this video, go ahead and just check your Facebook Marketplace, your Craigslist, whatever. You'll find plenty of these used for under $200. So let's talk about the magic and the water section. The water. Now this machine uses water. This has a slightly bigger water basin on it than some of the standard ones I've seen. That allows you to pick up a little bit more without changing the water basin. And that's kind of the thing we're gonna start off with is, what is this? What are we doing with water, electricity, and a vacuum cleaner? So first thing is that the water basin, you'll see these casters come off, and these casters are silly. For some reason, they did not give it all the same casters, and what that means is these casters cannot handle the same weight as these, so these ones will break. vice versa. Let's talk about what's in here, and this just snaps off. Now, the newer versions of the Rainbow actually like tilts up and the water basin comes out a little bit easier. But those machines have a smaller motor, and this is, by Rainbow fans, the one to get. This is what everybody wants. This is like the best one that they've ever made, according to a lot of people. So, let's talk about soup. Yes, we have made Rainbow soup here. And this is from the hard floor pickup test only, which you will see a little bit later in the video. So that's how much stuff, and it always looks like there's a lot when it's made into soup. Bagless vacuums have that psychological effect. This is a laughable amount of dust in reality. All right, let's talk about what's underneath here. We have a toothbrush, and the reason they are giving you a toothbrush is not to brush your teeth, it is to clean the separator, and this separator should be cleaned often. I would say every 2 to 3 weeks you should clean your separator, and typically you have it hand tight, but if for some reason it's stuck, they give you the little wrench end of this, and you can take this off and we can clean the separator. And I'm gonna roll in a video what this looked like when I first came across it. Yeah, that was pretty nasty. And that's the problem with these, is you're basically mixing mud, and there's again, no reason for the water. Now, what Rainbow salespeople will tell you is the water is a natural way of filtering, and that it is wet water can't fly, or wet dust can't fly, or some nonsense like that. Okay, we're gonna put the toothbrush back right here. So, I do like that they give you a tool to clean it and it stays on board. I think that's really important. I also do like that this has LED lights. It's kind of a fun party trick. But going back to the filtration, as you can see, this is going to move right through the motor, and most of it's going to get caught in the HEPA filter. And this HEPA filter is not, like, I can't get to this HEPA filter without a screwdriver. So I'll show you where the HEPA filter is real quick. That is the HEPA filter, and that just plugs directly into the motor. It gives a good, nice seal. And you can get generic HEPA filters, which is something I really like. They are as good as the genuine ones, and you should change them often. So that is what the HEPA filter looks like and how you get to it. And it's kind of hidden. There's nothing on here that indicates anywhere that there is a filter in here. So unless you read the manual, you would not know that was there. And you'd be surprised how many people are not going to read the manual on their vacuum cleaner. The other thing to note about this, it is very large. Like this thing, it's like 20 plus pounds. You are moving a very large thing around your house. If you have a ranch style house, it's not going to be as big a deal. But if you have a normal house with stairs, this is going to be a burden on you. So there's no quick release for the cord, and there's no cord rewind. However, what you can do is take the blower port that covers the HEPA filter, take it off, and then pull the cord off. And this is a departure from previous designs where there used to be a telescoping cord latch on here. Now, the way these have been demoed to people is there's 2 speeds. One is for vacuuming, and then one is to use it as a quote-unquote air purifier. Cannot imagine paying this much for a vacuum and then just leaving it on randomly because you want to purify the air and put the wear on your HEPA filter and on your vacuum motor. Now, I know it does have a brushless motor, but still you're putting that wear on this machine. High speed, low speed. I don't know why you would want that sound in your room. Let's see how much working vacuum this Rainbow has. And of course, this is a new HEPA filter, a clean separator, fresh tank of water. So this is as good as it's ever gonna get. Wow. So 65 inches sealed, 20 to 25 working. Those are pretty anemic numbers from a canister vacuum, especially one this large. All right, here is the in the shop section for the Rainbow review. So the Rainbow is very serviceable. No problems with that. What is a problem is just how much stuff is here. This circuit board alone is extremely complicated. This is a vacuum cleaner. I appreciate that it has a brushless motor, but this is questionable. And they have had some problems with circuit boards. We know the new SRX has problems with cooling. So this is cause for concern. This could be a lot simpler, and I don't know why it's not. Everything is quick disconnects. That's all fine. I really do appreciate the motor and sound deadening in this. But again, all of this is kind of unnecessary considering it is just a vacuum cleaner. And I kind of want to talk about, notice there's no like where anything's made stamped on anything in here. I thoroughly believe that this motor and circuit board are probably not made in the US. I think the plastic housings and stuff are made in the US, but again, you know, we don't make everything here, so I understand that, but there's just no country of origin or anything stamped on any of this stuff. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all this stuff is made in the US, but I really don't believe so. We just don't make a lot of things like this here in the United States. So if I had to guess, looking at the circuit board, this is a Panasonic component, and some of the other brands on here, I would guess this board was made in Taiwan. If I had to guess its country of origin, the components and all this put together is very, very well done, and of course it's stabilized in epoxy or some sort of glue resin. It seems softer than epoxy. All right, also I just want to show the 3 fans and what they look like on there. They have baffle stack. I would just like to mention that the power nozzle doesn't have any screws in it, and it all snaps together, and eventually that will be brittle and cause problems. But everything else in the power nozzle is very high quality. It has a lifetime belt, so that is all excellent. Really the only questionable thing about the power nozzle is that it has those side brushes, which really are just dumb. So if they would get rid of those side brushes, this would be a great power nozzle. All right, we've switched to the studio microphone. You're going to hear the real sound of the machine running as we do our standard pickup test, which is fresh pet hair, fine sand, cat litter, and breakfast cereal. I'm curious to see how this is going to do since it has those side brushes on the power nozzle. Now this machine does come with a hard floor tool, which will pick all this stuff up just fine, no problem. We're not worried about that, but we are curious about how it does with the power nozzle. Alright, because you would have the brush roller off on hard floor, these side brushes don't do anything but just drag stuff around. As you saw, it dragged sand around. It dislocated some breakfast cereal and cat litter. But let's see in the middle, where the brushes shouldn't affect anything, how this is. You got breakfast cereal, cat litter, fine sand, just like everywhere, and it got that pet hair. But it kind of moved everything else around. So this is probably one of the worst power nozzles that I've ever tried on hard floor. And I'm sure glad they do give you a separate hard floor tool with this, which is almost as wide as the power nozzle. In the sake of fairness, I do want to show the hard floor tool working on the same mess test. And since we have all this to pick up already, we're just going to go ahead and do that with the hard floor nozzle. And it shouldn't have any problems with this. It struggled a little bit on some of the cat litter, which surprised me, but that could just be because of how shallow these cuts are. But other than that, it picked up everything how it should, And if you were doing a lot of hard floor with this machine, you obviously want to use the hard floor tool. That goes for any canister, but I think especially this one, since the power head was pretty ineffective on hard floor. All right, we've switched to the studio microphone. You're going to hear the real sound of the machine running as we do a pickup test. And of course, we have our standard pickup test of breakfast cereal, cat litter, fine sand, and fresh pet hair. Let's see how it does. So, just to first of all get out of the way, those side brushes just seem to collect hair rather than pick it up, and that this came in with a whole bunch of hair wrapped around it when I first saw the machine. Yeah, you can see some of the fine sand. I got the animal hair in the middle and left quite a bit of cat litter. Hi. Okay, well, apparently the dog is helping. Thank you, Oreo. So as I was saying before the dog sat in the shot, is that it struggled with the cat litter as well. Other than that, picked up most everything else. All right, a friend of the channel did mention this, that this power nozzle does groom nicely, and yeah, it does groom the carpet nicely, but most power nozzles do today. Say it's time for Stair cleaning. The good news is you can take the casters right off this machine, which in theory you should be able to do by stepping on it, which it always kind of scoots away. But we take that off, and now we can carry the machine. This reminds me of a nursery rhyme. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And that is the thing with a rainbow. It's because the motor is above the water. It is actually top heavy. And yeah, just having this on stairs always makes me nervous. I would not use this on stairs without holding this in place. And remember, when you turn this on, the motor torques it when you turn on. So once you find a safe place for the rainbow, cleaning stairs is fine. The hose is a good length for doing like a half a flight of stairs. So what I would actually do in my house is set it down here, and then I can walk to the top of the flight of the stairs just fine. What are my final thoughts on the Rainbow E2 Black Type 12? That is a long name. This vacuum is a lot of hassle and effort and is very expensive for what you get. Now, if you're coming out of a bad vacuum that you bought at a box store like a Bissell or a Shark, I could see how you could be impressed with this. However, if you're comparing this to other canisters with a power nozzle on the market here in the US in 2025, or even back when this was originally sold in 2017, gosh, I can't say that the Rainbow and the SR, this goes for the SRX too. I can't say that there's really a reason for the math in this. It's large, it's big. Emptying the water is a hassle. I think it's a little bit less of a hassle than, say, washing a traditional Cyclone on a bagless machine, but still a hassle. The Power Brush has a narrow cleaning path. It just doesn't make sense. And at the price that these were originally sold at, and at the price that new Rainbows were sold at, they don't make financial sense either. And I'm going to compare it here to some other machines. I have here a Rotho Twin T. We have here the Rainbow. We have here a Miele and a Cibo D4. Just for fun, I threw the Rotho in because it's another water vac and it's also large and big for no apparent reason. This, again, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Adding water to your vacuum doesn't make sense. There are no benefits to doing this. And if you need a humidifier, buy a separate humidifier. This is not the answer for that. If you have allergies, this is not the answer for that. The fact that you are touching the dust and having to clean this thing all the time is not going to be great for your allergies. And the fact that this thing has less suction power than machines that cost half this much, or a third or a quarter this much, is just unacceptable if you have allergens that you need to get out of your carpet or you're off your hard floor. And I know it's certified by the British Allergy Foundation. That's a pay-to-play organization started by Dyson to make their vacuums look better, and a bunch of other companies got on board with it. So thanks for watching. I hope this video is useful to you. I hope you weren't duped by a Rainbow salesperson. And if you really want one of these, again, go on the secondhand market. You should be able to find one of these under $200, probably closer to $100. If you really like what we're doing, go check out our Patreon. Patreons get early access to new videos and get exclusive videos, and it's a great way to support our channel directly. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.